All right. It has begun.
Okay, so basically, where we're starting or where we're ending is on Kimbrough because originally we went to Fairhaven because there is issues between three of the houses. And so we're basically, as arbiters, going to a party that the governor is throwing to kind of schmooze around and talk to people, figure out what's going on, and set the scene. We're waiting to also have a meeting with the king about that, I think, too. Then, in order to prepare for that, we had to go to a tailor shop to go get outfits, and then the tailor suggested, hey, go to this place to Donegan's to go get armor, decremental, and like regular armor. We bought stuff. Then he was like, hey, I have a debt. Can you help me? And we were like, yes, stupid. In my opinion. And so we had to go to Mount Cumbro to get a book from a temple, and we knew nothing about it and didn't do any research. But we left that day. We went to the temple. We went in, and then we couldn't leave. We went further into the temple. We met Maxim, who was a cleric that was being held hostage by the bandits that were there. We fought every room and went to the room we needed to be in last. Um, I almost died because we ended up going into a room where quarries are sacrificed, and Dalavash so lovingly touched the tablet that activated them. And we got into that fight, and that was great. We defeated both of them. We left. We went into the room that Maxim went into, got a +1 longsword, +1 greatsword, +1 shield, and the +1 longbow, and then we went upstairs and took a long rest.
Also, before we went here, I cured the poison from you, which
Oh yeah,
may have been a bad idea.
but that's not important to right now. That's a later issue that we're gonna do. Maybe.
Okay. What can you tell me about how much time you have to get to that party?
Like the next day or 2 days from now. It was like Saturday night, I think, and we were there Friday morning.
So we have
So
to.
we're pretty much in a hurry to get back. I'm pretty
It
sure.
is officially Saturday.
Oh, it's
So
yeah. Oh, okay.
it's. I've thought this out because I wanted to try and plan this, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Because I still have a level of exhaustion. So I was hoping what we could do. It's an hour back. It's a half hour down to the town. Then it's 2.5 hours back to the train, and then it's an hour back to Fairhaven. So I was hoping that would be enough time that however you want to split it, two of you would go give the book to Donegan. Two of us would go get the outfits, and then I could go back to the hotel and sleep to get that level of exhaustion off. I think theoretically it would be 7 hours from when we get back to the place, Fairhaven. And then I could sleep, get the level of exhaustion off. You guys could get that stuff done. And then we could all reconvene at the hotel, get changed, and be there at the party on time. I don't know if it would work that way, but mentally that's what I had planned out based on the timeline.
Well,
Sounds good to me.
Time.
I think we have that much time.
I'm still wondering
half
if we
an hour puts you at 6:15, getting back roughly. If you leave soon, half an hour or would now. Granted, that's also if your mounts are present. Because it's half an hour mounted.
And then the 2.5 hours back to drop them off and get to the train, which is an hour as well.
Which would be more without mounts. So,
are you trying to tell us something?
I don't know. You're gonna have to find out. So yeah, I mean, if everything works as you intended, you would have 2 hours to spare between getting a long rest, and you'd have 2 hours for errands.
And the train ride's only an hour, so we can't take a rest.
Yeah,
on the train.
That's counting everything up. So a long rest plus the time it's going to take to get back, if everything lines up, would put you back after the long rest about 5 p.m.
Would it be
Now, the
safer?
party.
Oh, go ahead.
No, the party starts at 7. But you know how parties go.
Yep.
Um,
We could be fashionably late. Would
We
it-
could, but we
well-
want to make.
Why don't we take the rest back in Fairhaven? That way, if we have to cut it short, we're already there.
Yeah, we already took one, but I think we're gonna take another one, or at least I have to,
For
because
your
I have a level of
exhaustion?
exhaustion,
Yeah,
and I'd like to not have that at the party.
right. Especially if you get into some trouble.
Most likely.
okay. All right. So where you are, who can tell me the gentleman's name that you guys, quote unquote, rescued?
Oh.
I said it twice already.
Maxim,
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Max?
I did.
the
Okay.
physician.
Oh, yeah. The guy who was treating the cultists. Yep.
When you guys came up, you noticed that the bandits have expired. Now, granted, he came down to you where the fog was encroaching, right? He was forced down to you. But when you guys come back up, you find that the two bandits have both passed. All right?
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Tragic, right?
Stop.
All right. So as you guys step up into the now fog-free, it is still pretty dark outside. It is not yet sunrise. So but the fog has completely lifted. There's no fog at the break in the wall. There's no fog obscuring the countryside, and it's about close. It's starting to lighten in the east, so you can start to see almost like a early morning, the very beginnings of a sunrise. So as you guys enter into the temple proper, Maxim gives one look at the now corpses of the bandits and just shakes his head. And oops, wrong layer. That boop. And he steps up to you all and just says, "I don't know about you, but I would very much like to leave this place."
No, I'll just nod emphatically.
Same. I'll start just walking towards the door. Maybe.
Edge will require if we must.
Let me know
That's
if you
true.
can't move your characters.
I don't know if I'm just dumb or I can draw boxes.
Mine hasn't updated from D&D
And now
Beyond.
there's two of me.
You're correct.
Okay.
There's a reason for that. I can't
Yeah.
move either of myself.
Refresh.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, looks like everyone else can move.
Fuck me, I guess.
Did it finish refreshing?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah.
But
It's fine, I'll
Matt-
just go out last. I'm depressed anyway.
Can Matt move the corpses of the bandits?
Don't give Matt any ideas. He doesn't need any. Oh yes, I can move myself now. Whee!
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, right now Maxim is just kind of following you guys, trying to stay somewhat close. As you look around at the temple, you can see dark spots crossing where the blood was tracked from over here to the temple proper. Does anyone want to check out the bloody box? No? Any takers?
Bloody box. Ah,
No,
Okay.
I'm
I
all
don't
set.
think so. No.
I mean, if it attacks people, we could technically take one of the dead bandits' hands, put it in there, and see what's in there.
Medic!
They probably already did that.
One of the bandits is missing a hand.
Whoa, this
Hmm.
whole character sheet is different.
Oh, that could have happened. It changed my it changed the default, I think, when it updated. So I think
Oh,
I
yeah, okay,
might have
better. Thank you.
I might have just fixed it.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't anything wrong with it. I just noticed it was different. That's all.
Yeah. Matt, are you toying with music by chance?
No.
Oh, it might be on a loop. Hold on. I think
You are
it's
gonna
on a
have a
loop.
shit-eating grin every fucking time. I know you are.
Damn right I am.
Okay, let's put on. Okay. All right. So as you guys make your way, heading out into the pass, you currently see no sign of your horses.
Super.
Can I check for their tracks?
Yep. Go ahead and make a survival roll.
Hold on a sec.
Why did Mother take a long rest? Why did all of you take a long rest?
So you gave us a long rest at the end of the last game.
We did a level up thing or something. I don't remember exactly.
We slept at the end of the last
Really?
game.
Wait, you did? In there? So you've already taken your long rest.
Yes, but that's why I was saying I need another
Oh.
one because I have a level of exhaustion, which is why I had the whole plan.
Wait. Did you have 2 levels?
Yeah, because remember, in order to finish off to get the last 2 points to kill that monster.
Okay. So you guys all took a long rest. Okay. I did not realize that.
You can just say no, you didn't. You're all fully healed, but no, you didn't.
No. So let's pause for a beat. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pause the game real quick. So after you guys made your way up, and as you make your way to the top, find a spot, and just kind of decompress as you survived and think about all that happened here, everything that is pending. There's probably not a lot of discussion, not a lot of. That's why it's Saturday too. That makes more sense. There's not a lot of, laughter, joking. It's a pretty somber mood. You set your watches. You figure out who's going
That's
to
what I was
stay
doing,
up.
Matt. Then I realized he can't see me with this animace on.
And you take your turns. It's a it's a rough night, and you're all pretty exhausted from the day. And as one by one, those of you who are not staying up on watch fall asleep, there's almost a sense of foreboding, like a vibration that you can feel but not hear. There's just this feeling that you are on the verge of something much bigger than anything you faced. You don't know if it's the temple, what you face down below, everything that's happening in the world, but there's just this feeling that each of you just can't shake, that something's not right. And as you drift off, those of you who spend your time sleeping, meditating, you just feel that sense of foreboding. Dove,
Mm.
you look over your team as you're falling asleep, thinking back on not only all of the missions that you have done, but everything that is pressing. You've never seen or experienced, you've heard long before your time as a member of the Servitors or your involvement in the 12 in general. You've known and heard of stories of the wars before, the House Wars. And this is shaping up to be something equal, if not worse, than what you've heard before. As you drift off, you find yourself walking through the city of Sharn, places you're very familiar with. You know and look and see exactly where you are. You know how far, how close you are to the club that you call home. Each and every turn you could take. And yet, something's not right. The city itself, there's no one present, but it's more than that. You sense something wrong with the city itself. And as you continue to press on, seeing the shops and homes and businesses you're used to seeing, that feeling grows. You start making your way towards the club. And you just know you have to get there. Something is pulling you towards that. And you start to increase your pace, nearly coming to a run as you turn the corner, and a figure, hooded and robed, stands before the club, raising their hands as if in supplication. Huge gouts and bursts of flame burst from windows. First floor, second floor. And the figure, as the arms continue to raise, the fire continues to burn until they slowly come down. And as soon as they come down, everywhere around you is raging flames. The figure slowly turns their head. Hidden in the cowl, the only thing that stands out are burnished yellow eyes, glowing with just wisps of fire from deep within the cowl, as if coming out, is plumes of smoke. The figure turns completely towards you, and he starts approaching. You stand there transfixed, and all around you, the city of Sharn burns. Fire everywhere, raging, except for the small clearing in between you and the figure as the figure approaches. Fire comes closer and closer until the two of you, merely 4, maybe 5 feet apart, are just in a pillar, in an eye of a hurricane of flame. The figure raises their chin. Still, the only thing you can see are yellow, flaming eyes. Standing there, unable to move, unable to speak, the figure stretches out a hand and touches your forehead with the very tip of their middle finger, and power surges through your body. You look down, covered in flames from head to toe, and yet there is no burning. Slowly, you look, seeing the flame wreathing your body, and you just instinctively begin controlling it as the flame moves from your shoulder up your arm, centering in a whirling ball as you hold it in your hand. Stretching out your other hand, another swirling ball of flame as your body is now free with 2 globes of fiery power standing in your hands. As you look, you look back towards the figure, and the figure just, you hear the slightest, deepest chuckle. Yes. Embrace it. Embrace the power. You have been marked. You will control the flame. But you must learn and grow. A path lies before you. Choices must you make. But this and more, I promise you. And you feel the power growing within you. Looking down at these 2 orbs, you feel connected not only to them, but to the fire around you. You are able to pull in more and more fire. Growing. The orbs continuously spin, getting chaotic and crazy, and more, pulling in the fire around you until you cannot contain it. You lift your head to the sky, and a pillar of fire pours out of you. What seems like takes forever. And yet when you look around, dancing between your fingers are 2 orbs of fire. In the rest of the city, all of the fire has been extinguished. Yes! Learn. Seek the knowledge, and this will be yours. You can feel the grin, the desire, though you can still only see the eyes, as you drift away, thinking of those flames. Dalavash.
Yeah.
As you center yourself, meditating and preparing, for you, dreams are important. Dreams are how you commune with your Quarry ancestors. They've guided you. Having no formal training, they've still been your guiding source. You've never found community in Kalishtar, but you've always been connected to the dream. It has led you to where you are. It has led you on your hunt. As you prepare, you find difficulty, almost a barrier, preventing you from reaching that level of transcendent meditation that you are used to. Something about this place, something about what happened. You have no idea, but you know that you and you alone were connected in a way that no one else was to the events down below. What did it mean calling you Seeker? You've never heard that before. You've never seen that before. And it troubles you. These beings who attempted to destroy one of your own party members. Something you didn't understand triggered these events. All of it was so beyond your control. You're so used to having that path before you, knowing what you should be doing, being guided. And yet all of this came so unexpected, without any type of any way to prepare. As you sit there troubled, you finally manage to reach some level of calm, enough to slip into that meditation. And when you do, suddenly the world around you, you're still in the temple, but the world around you is swirling. It reminds you of your time in the Mournlands. It is shadowy, vague, wisps, sounds. And as you look around, you see shadowy changing figures where your friends lie. They're shimmering. Standing up, you see outside of the temple figures approaching. Blue, translucent figures walking up and standing in a line. You're drawn to them, and you leave. Glancing back, you can see your own form, kneeling in meditation. Looking down, you see your own incorporeal form as you approach. More and more figures appear out of nothing and line up. Seeker, come. Seeker, he is come. Come. You have no idea what the voices want. You have no idea what this seeker is. Looking around, there's probably 15 to 20 of these beings. You have no idea. And just as you are about to call out, you sense a presence behind you. You've never met your Quarry ancestor. You've never seen them. And yet, this glowing being, not even humanoid in shape, so bright you can barely make out details, stands between you and your physical form. A pathway was reached today, a crossroads in your life. Before you lay multiple paths, and a vague appendage gestures. You look back to the courtyard and it is clear. Standing before you, you see Saphiel walking. Her figure does not move, but she is clearly walking. On one glance, she appears to be walking and talking. You can't tell if she's talking to someone or something. But as she walks, some form expands from her body, and she turns to it, and there's arguing. And then on the left, it happens again. This expanding black form. You follow, without movement, the quarry behind you, Saphiel in front of you. Suddenly, Saphiel approaches another Saphiel. And they are arguing, fighting, warring. On one hand, the black form continues to come out of her body and go back in from the side, from the back, from the top. And you just see this massive, billowing darkness. On the other, a form, dark blue, hangs behind her. The two ethereal forms seem to be warring with each other. Meanwhile, Saphiel is fighting with herself. This is one of the many choices you will make. Suddenly, both are side by side, facing you. On one hand, you have the black, shadowy form reaching out, and Saphiel looking at you, pleading. On the other, the dark royal blue, and Saphiel writhing in pain and agony. And suddenly, a bow is in your hand. Choose. You must choose. You have to shoot. Which do you choose? You are compelled. You must release. On one hand, Saphiel is pleading with you. A dark form bursting around her body. On the other, she is writhing in pain with this blue, somewhat peaceful form behind her. What do you do? You must choose. One of them will take your arrow. Which is it?
Shoot the one that's writhing in pain, I guess.
You turn and release. Suddenly, the form itself behind her swoops in, taking the arrow. Saphiel falls to her knees. You suddenly zoom out. All around you, you can see portals opening. Demons pouring out everywhere. creatures swarming the land, humans struggling, screaming in pain, and you know that you have set these events in motion. Darkness, despair, suffering, an invasion like has never been seen before. I cannot tell which is worse. There is a fate that you must decide. You must find answers. If you are to be the seeker, seek answers. Feeling the guilt, the pain of all of those beings weighs heavy until one of the appendages of the quarry touches you and you are back in your physical form. You must meet with your people. Share what you have seen. They cannot give you the path to take, but they will help you understand the choices you must make. With a little bit of peace, though being still disturbed, you're able to find that place, that meditation, and forget for just a moment what you have seen. All right. All right, Mother. As you prepare yourself, focusing and meditating on your spells and what you have, everything that you've been through, and more importantly, what you know your team has been through. You sense that breaking point as well. As you are in the process of powering yourself down to your level of meditation, you can sense the unease around you. A feeling just begins to grow within you. What is your purpose with the group? As one of the last Warforged that will ever be. Your entire race is set with an expiration. Long though you may live, you are the last. All around you are the last. As you begin that meditative process, as you begin to think on that divine energy that you are able to touch, something calls to you. Sticking out of a satchel near Dove is a book. You noticed it, but you can't you can't shake the feeling that it's important, that you're being drawn towards it. Unable to put it off, you see, other than those on watch, everyone is either sound asleep, though turning and tossing, and you go over. Take a look. This isn't the book that you sought. There are no runes on the cover. But as you peruse the pages and see, it's almost as if pictures, sentences, paragraphs are standing out to you in almost a blinding light, highlighted. As you continue to pore over it and look through it, this is not a book about Warforged. This is something else. Throughout the text, several words pop out. One of them is Bioforged. A cross between actual flesh and the body of a Warforged. And yet nowhere within this tome is there the mark of House Cannon. In some ways, you're unsure. You've always been both respectful and grateful to House Cannon. You, more than any other, understand what caused them to destroy all of the remaining forges. And yet, they created life. True life. Not automatons. You, more than any other, know that a Warforged has a soul. That it can react to not only the divine, the beautiful, the grotesque, the evil. You have pledged yourself to this, and the book sings to you. Is this what you've been seeking? A way to create forged, not requiring those sanctioned and abandoned forges of House Cannon. As you meditate further, you seek out. You have a faith in your divinity. And that faith is all you have needed, all you have ever needed. It has served you well throughout your entire existence. You've never questioned, never demanded the presence of your gods. And yet here, more than any other place, you can almost feel that presence. It comforts you. You know that what you have may not be the entirety. It may not give you what your heart desires most, but it is a start. And as you continue to ponder and view, ideas begin to form. Many of the elements and scripts in the book would take you down a path you dare not go. And yet, it might, just might, give you the clue on how it could be accomplished, maybe in a better way. And so you sit and ponder and think. And for the first time in many, many, many years, the thought of continuing your race without being beholden to House Cannith or some dark and nefarious magics begins to form and settle. You realize, for the first time in a very long time, you have a renewed hope for your race. Now, Dove, Dalavash, and now Mother. Your character should reflect level 5. Or will shortly. In Mother's case. Lob.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to assume that you took the first watch.
Correct.
As you position yourself outside of the temple, knowing that Mother is watching the interior, everything begins to hit you at once. What just happened in the temple? Dalavash starting some ritual that nearly killed Zaphiel. The absurdity of whatever forces were crippling her. Her goddamn insistence on doing whatever she wants.
That's the one.
The anger builds as you know that most of this is just anger at just being unable to protect, to keep safe those which you pledged to do. As you sit there trying to center yourselves, trying to find what you can do. How do you protect someone who seems to have no regard for themselves? What do you do as you sit there? The frustration builds, but also that sense of foreboding. Your father was a good man, a good orc. And you know that goodness is potentially part of the reason that you now are the last of your tribe. You know what happens to good men. As you sit there clenching your fists. With you, you have the blade that you found. As you pull it from the long sheath, you've given it a bit of a look. You'd swung it. You knew that it was a fine weapon. You know that there's something special even about it. How it was laid. You got a chance to peek into those crypts. 3 crypts. 3 warriors. And on each, a symbol of what made them. As you look over the fine blade, cleaning it, knowing that it's just dust, knowing that almost nothing could touch this fine blade, soon you have all of the grime and dust of the years laying in the crypt removed, and you find a peace in just cleaning and inspecting this blade. And you can see engraved right above the hilt a series of runes. As you peer closely, turning the blade, holding the blade, almost a silvery light seems to just ripple within the steel. Holding it this way and that, you move, turn your back to the braziers and get it closer. And in the light of the moon, you can almost make out the runes. And you suddenly know the name of your blade. As you look down, the runes rearrange themselves. As you grip the hilt and look across the blade, suddenly, these aren't runes. It's script. It's Orcish. You can read it clear as day. The name of your blade is Brun Dragar. You know what that means. Oath Keeper. And as you hold this blade, you can feel the weight of years behind it. You know that it has seen many wielders. And as you take a few swings with this blade, you can almost feel the question. Maybe the question you dare not ask yourself. What oath am I to keep? All right. With that, you will be level 5 as soon as it finishes recording. Zaphiel. Exhausted beyond words. Damn near terrified at what's happening and what's going on. Does not take. You have a fitful night's sleep. Not something that you would normally call restful. And you've roughed it before. You've been in worse places to take a rest. Tossing and turning all night. Dreams you can't even remember. Coming and going. Most of all are just the feeling of hands clawing at your body, but passing right through, and the soul shiver as they pass through your form. Hearing screams not yours. Being chased dominates your night. And as you wake from a less than restful sleep, knowing it is your time to take the watch, you get up and head out, relieving Dalavash, who looks at you with an almost pained expression on his face before heading inside with a nod. You head out. Still early, still dark, but yet no more fog. Stars in the sky. And as you take up a perch on the steps in the shadows where you can watch, nothing makes sense. Nothing that's going on or that has happened. All of it feels just totally out of your control. And as you wait to finish out your time here at this temple, you feel the stirring, familiar stirring within you.
This was not what I expected.
What did you expect?
I did not think that it was possible. I felt those creatures. Before the Black was destroyed, I was dying. I did not think that was possible.
She doesn't say anything. I don't know what to say.
If that had not been broken, I would not exist. And yet, you nearly died when that connection was severed. I would not have died had you fallen. I know that. I don't know how I know it, but it is true. You form the walls that contain me. And yet, those beings ignored you. I don't think that's possible, except I was there. I felt.
For a while, there is silence as you think about what he said and what happened. He seemed content to hold off and say no more until just before everyone, some of your group begin to rouse, hear stirrings within. You know it's about time for your group to get going.
You will die. If I remain, you will die.
I think the only way to get you out is to kill you.
I don't even know why I'm here.
I don't either. And I'm not laughing, she's like crying.
Yeah. You do not remember. Before, and neither do I. This is... If you stay in this city, the others, like Jalamash, will find a way to kill me. Or kill you. You should run. Flee. Now while we can!
Oh. No.
You will suffer before you die.
DM.
You will lose everything. Your mind will be the first to go.
And so be it. What's gonna happen if I run away?
We will live at least. We can find out why I am here. What did I do?
And then he is gone. Pushed away, pushed to the back. Separated more. And you can feel when his presence looms. He's gone. And the rest of the group begins to stir. All of you wake, not particularly restful, but at least slightly more refreshed. Some of you awake with a feeling of power.
Smell of sulfur.
Smell of sulfur. New strength. New commitment. But still above it all, that just sense of dread. And now you all may complete your long rest. Although, Saf, I gotta still add your level of exhaustion. So you are now all level 5.
My exhaustion's still there at 1 point.
Yeah, I just put it back.
Cool.
Check to make sure your hit points are good.
40. Woo.
Yep, that seems good.
43.
43.
46.
60 on law.
Yeah.
46 on. Okay. Yep, all looks good. So,
That's a lot.
we're back to where we were before I realized you had already taken a long rest.
Oh, that's perfect.
As you guys stagger your way out of the go ahead and roll. Okay, you rolled your survival. Galavash, you can see right away, and it's pretty obvious to everyone. That the horses broke at some point. They pulled against the tethering lines, and a few of them, it looks like they kind of scattered. However, back off into the hills, you're able to track down 2 of your mounts, and I'm going to say that having spent a little more time, I'll say that it probably takes you guys about 20 minutes. And you are able to locate all but 1 of your mounts. Try as you might, you can find no sign. It's possible it may have head back down to town. But everywhere you've seen and scoured, there's no sign.
So how many do we have? 3, 4?
4 out of the 5.
Okay, so we can double up if we have to.
All right. So you guys are able to make your way, and in about another half an hour, you guys make your way back into the town.
So, can I ask
ahead.
something?
Yep.
So, how are my party members looking after last night? Can I tell at all?
I'm snapping my fingers and making little sparks.
There are definitely some changes. I would say, why don't you guys tell each other how you're looking? Start with Dalavash.
I definitely look a bit distant at this point and distracted. Occasionally I look over at Safiel.
A frown, a weight almost, seems to hang on around him. Lob, How are you looking?
The only thing that would be outwardly noticing is that Lob is definitely keeping his distance from the group as a whole.
Hmm.
If that means going 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet ahead, or lagging 40 to 50 feet behind, he's definitely has a loner mentality at the moment. So he's not conversing with anyone in the party.
Dove.
I think I'm the opposite of those two. I'm probably feeling more confident right now. Like, I would assume when you level up and all of a sudden you know all these new spells, I've got like twice as many formula running around in my head at the moment. Like my spell list literally doubled. So
Yeah.
so I'm probably, like I was joking, making my hands get as warm as they can, like pre-fire bolting. And just withholding the urge to shoot at an occasional tree as we go riding by.
Edging.
Yeah, just like, yes, I'm edging my spells. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
You can all see that Dove did not walk away from this the same.
No.
Something happened.
I'm also
Something
probably
new.
a little stiff because technically I've grown scaly armor.
Oh.
So I'm probably not quite familiar with it, but thanks to the Hat of Disguise, nothing's going to look different.
All right. Mother.
Hard to say how well others would be able to notice it, given Warforged don't express very much outwardly, not having those facial muscles and everything, but kind of quietly watching, and maybe a combination of both concern and maybe a glimmer of hope, if you could see it or had to put a word to it.
Saf.
In the best way possible, she looks like shit. She still has a level of exhaustion, so she's wicked tired. Bags under her eyes and like dry teared streaks down her face. Not looking at anyone, not making eye contact, not talking unless spoken to. Also very distant and just kind of there.
The sad sack party, except for Dove.
Yeah.
Well,
Who's doubled up, by the way?
I don't know.
Or does someone
I
choose
think it
block?
should be Lob and Mother.
Love it.
I
More
think
horses.
Thor could take that.
Now you have 3 horses.
Ouch.
Probably the two smallest people, I would think.
I'll double up with Dove.
Yeah, that works.
Even though Saf is like 6 foot tall.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, she's taller than me.
So you guys make your way down. Like I said, it's not too far. Are you going to do anything in town? Get a meal? Do anything?
I think I'd rather grab a bite on the train. We're kind of pressed for time now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Go ahead.
have one more thing. The reason I asked partly is
Yes.
Mother will kind of say, kind of watching Saf, kind of say, can I... You do not look well psychically or physically.
Thank you.
And
So subtle, that
And-
mother.
is there a way I can help?
No. Don't worry about me.
am sorry. I will worry. I wish I could heal and help the mind.
Not that easy, Mother.
This is how supervillains are created, Chris. Watch out. It always starts on the road to good intentions.
And Mother will kind of be silent, lost in thought, like, if only I knew how to do what Dove does with singing and understanding people and affecting them positively, mostly, hopefully. But alas, Mother cannot. Sorry for the interruption.
No.
No. So you guys are quick, dropping off Maxim. Now, on your way down, as you look, Saf and Dalavash, you guys notice there are some more signs and tracks, and just before you get to the town, you find signs following them. You find that in the night, fleeing, you find the missing horse. And unfortunately, it looks like it might have broken something, fallen, and passed. So you see, you find its remains, what's left. It looks like at some point in the night, wolves or coyotes may have gotten to it, and started to tear in. Not totally sure since you had them for such a short time, but you think that it might have been either Dalavash or Lob's horse. Do you guys want to try and get a replacement mount? Doubling up would probably slow you down a little bit. Same with walking. Do you want to spend the time and coin to purchase a replacement, or do you want to push on?
Well, how far is it from here to the train?
2
It's
hours.
by horse. It's about two and a half
2.5
hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much would it extend it to?
Yeah.
It's still pretty early, right? 6 a.m. So you'd probably have to find someone. You'd probably burn about, if you don't bargain, you could probably find something within maybe like a half an hour, especially if you start at the end.
But I mean,
Is the guy going with us all
If-
the way to the train?
Maxim?
Yeah.
No, he's staying in the town.
Okay. So we're only
If-
down one horse, technically?
Yep.
if we
Yeah, but it
don't,
would extend your time for probably about 45 minutes or up to an hour.
Because I would, I mean, I don't want to backseat, but I figured the comment that Brian made about Dalavash and, Mother and Lob on the same horse, I would say Saf and Dove probably weigh what Mother does.
Right.
And we're doubling up, so we're like the two lightest.
I honestly don't think there's a point in spending more money when we're just
No.
taking them back
But-
anyway.
Right.
Mother's horse is not nearly
Well,
the same
different
horse as you
Yeah,
guys. Yeah.
that's true.
Plus, we should probably save our money because they'll probably make us pay for
Hmm.
the dead horse. So,
I mean, the trains go every hour, so 45
You didn't
minutes.
get insurance? What?
So,
let's
All
just
right.
yeah.
sooner the better. Let's just get there.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to say that about
Push 'em to
3
exhaustion
hours
and
from
turn 'em in.
now, you guys make it back. At this point, it's close to about 10 a.m.
Okay.
As you arrive at the terminal, you check back in the horses. I'm going to say that it will cost you about 60 gold as replacement of the horse.
Can you take it out of the party treasure, Mother,
Do we
please?
even have a party treasure anymore?
Yes, Mother has
got rid
everything.
of Mother has
Oh,
everything.
Mother has everything. I gotcha.
Yeah, we got rid of the party treasure, and I'm probably gonna have to do that on Team Resonance as well. But first, we need to transfer everything off of it. So
Yeah.
we'll work on that. So go ahead and Mother subtract about 60 gold. It's well within the operating hours, so there's no extra payment for an early or off time
Mhm.
part. So you guys get your tickets. You don't have to wait long because, like I said, it's almost 10 a.m. So in just a matter of 5-10 minutes, you're heading out.
Okay.
So you're able to board almost immediately.
Kick back, relax.
when you get there.
Take a little nap on the train.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. You could definitely take a short rest if you need, although probably not necessary
Doesn't
since
really
you just
do
took a
anything.
long
Yeah.
rest. Yep.
Another question, actually, for Dove this time. You have been doing something different. Where did you learn that?
What do you mean different? What are you talking about?
The fire. Have you not been, or has she not actually been?
I haven't been throwing fire. I've been more like just feeling the burn in my hands. Just kind of flaring it up and seeing if I can control it.
Okay, but producing some outward sparks.
Probably, or a little heat. Maybe there's a smell of burning. Of course, Saf would definitely have noticed since we were riding together.
Attention, so
Right.
she's not gonna say anything.
That I would say, I don't know, just something I'm trying out. Maybe some new spells.
Did you find a spell book, or did someone teach you?
Now, this is the tricky part. This is out of character, but you level up the same way I do, and you learn spells all of a sudden as well. So how would we? I don't know. I just learned some new spells this morning when I woke up. It'd be the same. How would you explain that in game?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, at least for you, Mother, it definitely seems remarkable. However, you know that the arcane has always been something that Dove has had innately. And so what you notice most is not so much the fire, it's almost just like that.
I think there's an air. Yeah, there's a feel.
And it definitely is contrasted by everyone else. With both Lob and Saf being withdrawn, brooding, with Dalavash just seeming very ill at ease with just a weight on his shoulders. It's striking. You notice it, you see it. You can't quite put your finger on it. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, she's doing something totally different, but you can feel that sense of vigor. And the one thing you do notice slightly is Dove has always had those mystical yellow eyes. But today, they shine like gold. They stand out more than they ever have before. There's a light behind them.
Touch me, Mother. No,
I should have brought my box down, Matt. I'm out.
I wonder.
You can go get it. We'll wait.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. 20 minutes, I'll survive.
I thank you for your concern, Mother, but I don't think there's anything to worry about. I feel fine.
Perhaps a blessing of Onatar. Well,
You
are
couldn't tell you.
full of prizes.
Thank you.
Curious. I wonder who she is. Just kind of thinking back on a certain vision from the Mournlands.
Gosh, yeah. Mother stores everything in her internal hard drives to look up later.
I wonder if we understand more today. But do we understand enough?
Just kind of look at Mother with a puzzled look. Like, it's too early in the morning for philosophy, Mother. I don't know what you're trying to get at right now.
Do we hurtle toward doom?
Well, we hurtle toward Fairhaven.
Or Fairhaven. Or
It's party time, Mother. Get your head in the game.
new creation. Perhaps both. There is creation and destruction. And with that, Mother is silent.
And I'm just watching you with an eyebrow raise. Like, what's gotten into you?
What's gotten into Mother?
Yeah, exactly.
And all of you, despite the lack of facial expression and the ability to, express those emotions, you can definitely see a change in Mother. They are, besides the more greater inclination towards philosophical questions, there just seems to be something. You can tell, and you've been around Mother long enough, and you can see that subtle change, that difference. If there's nothing in particular you guys want to talk about or do, then apart from the lost 60 gold, the rest of the journey, at least into Fairhaven, is fairly uneventful. It's not a particularly long ride. You get there in just over an hour, taking our current time to right around 11 a.m. So with a if Saf was to try and sneak in a long rest, that would put her right at ready to go time, right? 7 p.m.
Yeah. Well, I mean, can't we? The rest of us don't need to take a long rest, so we could be picking up the equipment and stuff like that. Because I don't think we have the dresses yet.
No, that's what I was thinking, and we said we would pick them up.
Yep. There's lots of stuff that you can do. In addition, you also have the book, the Fateful book, that was requested by Donegan.
Was it the tailor or the weapon guy?
No,
the armor.
Armor guy, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Donegan's Fine Arms and Armor.
Yeah, maybe we should deliver that.
Suggest learning about it first.
How much time do we have, Mother? We made a promise.
Well, we did not promise when it would be returned,
Hmm.
but perhaps before the party if possible.
Well, I would prefer. I mean, since he's giving us all this stuff for
True.
not free, but for this book.
Perhaps we should seek the Arcanist, or whatever would be the equivalent of, hey, let's go to the university.
Hmm. And have them look at it. Well, if it's something that's potentially dangerous or of historical value, the first person you show it to that would know what it is not going to let us run off with it and give it to somebody. We've got to be careful with who we show it to.
True.
I think we should just bring it back to the.
Yeah, that's kind of where
Guy.
I'm at too.
Do you think perhaps Tomas would know?
About this book? Maybe,
Yeah.
but we don't know how to get in touch with him.
Yeah, there's that.
He finds us, we don't find him. We should let our contact know we're back in town, though. Didn't we tell him we were
True.
zipping out for a while? So that's first check-in.
You guys
Good
have
luck.
fun.
Okay, have a good night. We'll catch you
All right,
next
so-
time.
As you're at the station, who is going where?
I will head straight to our contact.
Okay, so you've finally gotten where to meet him.
Right.
Is anyone going with you?
I'll go with him. Her.
Okay.
With him,
I'll
her.
go as well.
It's
I'll
the
go
gender
with-
bending.
I know, right? I rarely do this. Actually, this is the first time.
All right, Dove and Dalavash. Lob, what did you say?
I'm going with them as well.
Okay, so Lob, Dove, and Dalavash. Mother,
Which leaves
what
Mother
are
with
you
the
doing?
book.
Are you guys having Mother deliver the book?
I assume we make arrangements to meet up in about an hour or two at a usual location, and whether Mother chooses to turn in the book or do some looking into it, that's Mother's concern, I guess.
Well,
I suggest you turn it in, but I don't.
Right. Well, I was thinking I would actually, first ask Saf, shall I go with you
No.
to the hotel?
Nope.
No?
Yes.
Very well.
Shut it, you.
I vote yes as well.
No, I will be
Are
fine.
you implying she can't take care of herself? I cross my arms.
No.
You wouldn't be the first to imply it.
I am not implying that, but someone to watch one's back always helps.
I will be fine. Split up. Get the shit done. Meet me at the hotel.
Don't split the party. Always split the party.
We're fracturing the party at this point.
Yeah.
Okay,
Splinter the party.
so Mother is heading towards Donegan's. The three of you are heading towards Nikolai.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I guess
And-
I'll just go to Nikolai's with them.
We'll stick together. I mean,
Four of you go to Nikolai.
Tomas is more likely to show up once we've checked in and word gets around that we're back.
We should have plenty of time to do all this.
Yeah,
anyway.
we got like 8 hours while Saf sleeps, and
7.
we got to go get our gear anyway, so we can drop off the book when we go pick up all our stuff.
Okay. All right, so the four of you head off to meet with Nikolai. Saf, you make your way back towards the inn. As soon as you enter,
The original one, not hers.
Oh, not the fancy new inn?
No, not the one that Jazz owns. Our original one.
oh, You will have to rent a room, as those rooms are
Oh,
no
fuck.
longer
Whatever. Fine.
Yeah.
No, I'll go to the other
Dormouse?
one. Yes. Stupid.
Okay.
I was really hoping that they would still be rented to us.
Well, I mean, you really wouldn't know that until you get there.
It's fine. I'll just go to the other
Oh.
one. I know how to get there easier.
Okay.
Maybe my girlfriend will show up. It's fine.
As you arrive, and kind of just walk on in, heading towards the door, the young lady at the counter sees you, does a double take, and says, "Oh, miss, wait, right, one moment, please.
She just kind of turns her head and looks at her and is like, yes.
I have something for you. Just one moment." And she turns around, and she hands you a gift, a literal gift. It's wrapped. It's a box about that tall, mostly rectangular.
Check if it's ticking.
With elegant wrapping and a card slipped in between the wrapping. This was left for you, madame. Yes, this is it.
Do you know who dropped it off?
She kind of looks at you, and they left a card. And she just kind of gestures towards the card.
Okay, I want to look at the card. Can I see from where it is, like, letters or anything?
The card itself is merely a folded, like a half-folded piece of more like cardstock, right?
Okay.
It's sturdy. It's not really bendable. It's like a heavy, like, paper. And as you, a small note.
Cool.
And it just says, "In case you get thirsty," and with a symbol, with a
Box of
single
wine.
J underneath.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And I'm gonna go to my room. Do I still have a room?
Yes, you do.
Perfect. I'm gonna go to my room. And I'm gonna, when I get in, I'm gonna make sure there's no traps on it. I mean, it's a wrapped present, but I want to check it for traps anyway.
Sure.
So do you want me to roll that? I know that's kind of stupid, but
No, you're good. You can
cool.
see it pretty easily. Just kind of looking at, feeling around the seams, the edges. There's a box lid on top, and just being super careful. You see, there's nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna open it.
Opening it up is a very familiar crystal decanter full of a brown liqueur. You recognize. You've drank it. You've partaken of this particular beverage before. There's another note inside, slightly longer than the first. I have a feeling you might need a refresher. I warned you not to fuck with me. Bottoms up.
Oh, wow.
What a fucking bitch! Oh my god. I'm gonna put it on the table. Is there anything else in there besides that?
No.
I'm gonna put it on the table and go to bed.
Okay. The four of you make it to Nikolai's place. He is currently out, but he has left a note for you.
Oh.
Away on the business. I finally have, and of course this is in
He
Nikolai's
wrote it in
voice.
accent too. That's
He
amazing.
wrote an accent. I finally found my audience and have left to meet. Soon you will be before King Rogar himself. When you ask when the message was left, they tell you that it was left yesterday morning.
Has he
And
been
he
back
has
since? No.
He has not returned since.
Is this unlike him or is this normal?
I mean, the relationship you have with Nikolai
Right. I mean, I'm
is
asking his staff
such.
if he
Oh,
if he
No
disappears
staff
for.
there. It's just.
Oh, it's
him
just a
and
note.
the-
Okay.
Yeah.
There's nobody
Yeah,
there
it's
to
just a
talk to.
note. This
Okay.
is where his inn is.
Okay.
So they just inform you that that he has not returned since.
So they don't
leaving
pay
the
close
message.
attention to how often he's here, when he leaves and comes and goes and whatnot. So they don't know if it's unusual.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could even say for sure that he hasn't been back because obviously
Right.
it's not the same
Staff
person.
changes,
staffing it. Yep.
Okay. All right. All right, fellas, where to now? Time to get our stuff. Hand this over. Points at mother's package. The book, I mean.
I'm glad you clarified.
Hey, it's mother, not daddy.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to go straight to the book, and not the
Perhaps.
tailor. Okay.
Well,
Well,
Alright,
they're
so
both
you guys-
they're close to each other, I thought, right?
They are pretty close, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So do.
So the
both.
four of you make your way towards Donegan.
I do have a question. So we took a long rest, and I'm guessing leveled during that.
Yeah.
The problem is I did not choose which spells I prepared.
That's okay.
and it
Choose it.
unprepared all of them.
We only have 5 minutes
Yeah.
before
We don't have
Dove
much time
turns
left.
into a pumpkin.
Yep.
So what's going to happen is you guys still have a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're not going to get into it tonight. But more than likely, you're going to head first to Donegan's, and we will pick up with that.
Okay.
It will take you time to get everything done. I'm going to say, I'm going to pause the game now, actually, so no more time expires. It's probably going to take you all probably 3 hours at least, maybe 4, to get your work done. Saf.
Me.
About 3 hours into your rest,
I'll roll out of bed. There's little peepholes, we said, right?
mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna stealthily walk over the door and look through.
Looking through, you see a figure, but they're turned away, looking down the hallway. And they're really looking. They're not just idly looking. They are intently looking down the hallway. Just before you would call out, inquire, or do anything, the figure turns to knock again. And you see Tomas.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I open the door.
But you've never seen him like this.
Oh,
He's naked. Oh.
As
I was going to say that.
shut up.
quiet, you. You can see right away that something is very, very, very wrong. And as he turns and you see, he begins to knock again. When you see through the peephole several men, large men, coming up the stairwell towards him. And that is where we break.
Oh,
Oh my
mic drop.
Boom!
Cliffhanger.
Love it. Awesome.
All right, guys.
Good times.
Hey, gal.
Good game. That was fun.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
I know that was a lot
you.
of me exposition
That
and
is
stuff.
perfectly fine.
Appreciate y'all hanging in there.
Love it. All right, I gotta go. Thanks for the game.
All
That was
right.
fun.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.